Hey Les, me too. I had a bad day yesterday. We only lost 4k, you know, in the grand scheme of things on the month. So it's 12k, 12k down yesterday, but it was the emotional element of it that really got me yesterday, because I was right, and I knew I was right. I entered the trade, and it was the right thing to do, and I just cut my position before I should have done. So I was trigger happy. But I entered the trade, it was the right, I was trigger. That's, let's move that across here. I have to. You've not traded this, and that's sometimes that's the best way to do is don't a bit of trade a rehab, as it were. My goodness, it's up at 19s now. Oh, 19%, sorry. It's up at 12s. So I mean business every day, Alistair. Let me just get that to a point where I can actually see it. I think that's as good as I'm going to get today. I'll just wind it up so that we get at the top of the stream and the rest of the data. That's as good as we're going to get today. There we go. So, what are we looking at today? We'll review yesterday shortly, but BVW, that can go on the list. Blue water vaccines. The reason that's moving up, let's have a quick look. Okay, so no. Just BWV, that's why. BWV, not BVW. It's not a recent, I thought it was a recent IPO, but it's not. So let's have a look. Why is it moving up? Why is it up so much? Yesterday it plunged. Ouch. IPO in February. 83% yesterday, so we're looking at a bounce. Okay. Can work with that. EFRI, Biofrontera. It's looking interesting. Okay, what's the catalyst on Biofrontera? Conference call, Q4 earnings announcement. Looks like. Any additional news? No, just Q4 earnings. Ethereum is looking up. Got a while to go on the volume. It's not great volume yet, but it is gapping up. What's the catalyst? Ethereum shares are up pre-market. Stock is top of the Reddit short squeeze mentioned on Friday. Okay. So I don't pay much attention to Reddit short squeezes, but they can move stock. So all about market sentiment. And then our friend SBFM. So those are the 4 stocks that we've got today so far. BWV, BFRI, Ethereum, and SBFM. What is the best indicator? It depends on what your objective is. What information you're trying to find out. You know, I use intraday. I use the VWAP because I'm trading on short time frames. If you're trading on longer time frames, the VWAP isn't as relevant. So then you look at moving averages to get a similar kind of information. So I would look at the 9, the 20, and the 200, for example. If you're trading reversals, for example, you might want to look at Bollinger Bands, the RSI or MACD. It depends on what information you're after, Dean, in terms of what is the best indicator. If you're actually looking for an indicator to give you exits and entries, then my quick answer to you is that you're looking at the wrong thing. So exits and entries based on a technical indicator. All these indicators are lagging indicators, so they only tell you what's actually gone on. They only tell you what's past. There's no guarantee that they will tell you what's going to happen in the future. So for me, the best indicator is you look at the volume, you look at the ticker, and you look at the candle patterns. So if this ticker starts to move fast, it's an indicator that there's volume coming in. You look at the direction the volume's flowing in, and then you use the candlestick patterns for the breakouts. That's what I would say. What platform do I use to trade? DAS Trader Pro, Jack. DAS as in Direct Access Software, DAS Trader Pro. It's so if we look at the top gapper, is Edu, and it's some kind of merger or acquisition or something. just have a look at this. That's not even a pattern. If you look at it on the 5 minutes value, there's no pattern there. Q1 earnings. Shares of New Oriental trading pre-market after it's a reverse stock split, so 1 to 10. That's why it's saying it's up 800%. It's not. It's exactly the same price. That's a reverse stock split. So that's not there's no trade there. Okay. We've got 2 hours to market open. Get the Barocca. It's above tea time. Back in a second. Hey, dog. Okay, guys, so quick question. I'm going to leave it up to you guys in the chat. So we've gone on a bit of a red streak over this last week. And whilst not every day's been red, we've had some big red days. And this week we've not, I'd say this last week and this week we've not been trading very well. We've not been really disciplined in terms of strategy, etc., etc. So, question I want to put to you is, should I trade my way out of this? We're starting with just over $6,000 in equity today. So should I trade myself out of this today, or should I look to add to the position and deposit some money over the weekend? That's the question. Because I'm kind of thinking, should I put 25k back into the account and get me back up to a 30k so I can actually have a more realistic chance of hitting that 5k average goal for the year? Or should we keep it interesting and entertaining and just trade with the 6k that's in there right now? Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you'd like to see. Would you like to see me trade my way out of a small account again? So effectively, if I'm trading with a 6k, I'm doing another small account challenge. So let me know what your thoughts are. Should I trade with the small account, or should I add to it and then go for the 7 figures annual goal? Because if I don't add to my position now, I think I'm going to be writing off April as a trying to get even month. But if I add to my position, I can have a better chance of possibly getting a 6-figure month by the end. But I could also, the way that I've been trading this last 7 to 10 days, I could also risk losing that. So let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. Oh, I've chipped my cup. Ah. One of my favourite cups, that as well. Why is my chat not moving here? Okay, so the general sentiment seems to be small account. What would I look at to determine pre-market sentiment? Well, I look at relative volume is one thing. That's a big thing, and I'm looking at percentage gap. So what kind of a trend it's exhibiting? If there's a stock that's exhibiting a particular trend, and what's causing that? So in terms of what is the actual catalyst? So is there a newsworthy event that's actually causing that? So right now, if I look at what's on screen, BWV, there's no real news catalyst on this particular one for today. It's just sold off so heavily yesterday that we're getting a bit of a bounce. So it sold off over 80% yesterday. So we're getting a little bit of a bounce in the morning. That's why it's gapping up today. So for me, that's not, if I put the hourly chart on here so that you can actually see it on TikTok and on both TikTok and YouTube for that matter. If you see this one from yesterday, you can see it sold off from $60 down to kind of $10, and it finished yesterday, close of play yesterday, it was $9.90. Not a good sign. So for me to try and be bullish on this, no, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to see we'll get about. Fine, great. And if this gets above the VWAP there on the 1 minute and stays above it, then we might get some momentum from it. So what happened yesterday is irrelevant. But there's no reason other than it's sold off so heavily yesterday. The question I would like to say is, what caused it to sell off so heavily yesterday? So let's just have a look at the news from yesterday. Plunges. It's just got all the trading halts, but no reasons why. From yesterday. His annual report last Thursday. So again, I'm not seeing any particular news catalyst as to why it sold off so heavily yesterday. And that worries me. If there's nothing saying why it sold off, then it's rebounding, but why did it sell off in the first place? That's what I'd like to know. Let's see if I can find out. What's the blue water vaccines? Let's have a look at the news. This is the reason. Newswire. Dow Jones. No, even the Dow Jones doesn't even say it. So it basically says biotech company blue water vaccines plummeted roughly 75% midday trading after being paused for volatility earlier. There was no apparent news or release from the company on Thursday. Go figure. So that's a bit of a concern. If I'm thinking of trading that, it just plunged yesterday. So it was in a downwards trend yesterday. Go back to the 60-minute. Go back to the 30-minute even. So it was in a downwards trend yesterday, but it wasn't severe. So it was, you know, sideways, mostly quite choppy. It's been very choppy market this last week or so anyway. But it was mostly choppy, and then it just sold off to the downside into a halt, huge halt. And when it resumed, and this is the worry that I have with downwards halts, is that the low of this when it halted was 51.79. That's when it closed. It resumed down at $33. So that's almost a $20 drop from the halt. Now that's very, very rare. Very rare. I mean, I got caught in one to the upside, which was in my favor, but let's just say that you've taken 1,000 shares here, and as a result, because you're thinking, okay, it's going to move up, so we see it here. We take 1,000 shares as we're moving up on this candle, and then you get onto this candle, and it really swings to the downside. If you've got 1,000 shares and you've got that $20 drop, that's $20,000 you're in the hole, and you couldn't have got out at any time at that stage. And to take 1,000 shares there, it's going to cost you about $50,000. So if you've got a 4-to-1 equity, you need $15,000 equity. You could have taken maximum size there, and you're looking for a bounce maybe or whatever. You get caught in the hole. $20,000 is going to blow up your account. It's going to open, and you're going to be all the broker $5,000 because they'll liquidate your position on that open. So it is risky. It's very risky. Trading with leverage is risky, and this is why. So if you've got let's say you've got a $15,000 account, 4 times leverage, you go all in and buy 1,000 shares here at $52 or whatever it is. And then when it gaps down, to lose $20 on that gap, you're down $20,000. And you can't do anything about it. So you've blown up your entire account on that one move. That's scary. That's scary. Scary stuff. So how do you determine trends? So intraday, so you look at, for example, you can look at the daily chart, and you can see how choppy this is. It's up, it's down, it's up, it's down. This is BWV before that plunge. Okay, so if I zoom out a little bit on the daily, this is it, because it IPO'd in February. So this is as much as it's as I'm going to get on the daily. So this is a very rangy, sideways trending stock at the time, but it had this that's a worry there. So the big sell-off on that one day, then it took a while to regain, and then this huge sell-off. So this is the stock that I would stay well away from, because it's such huge volatility. So then we've got intraday. So if I look at on an intraday basis, this blue line is called the volume weighted average price, KISS. And the volume weighted average price is a great indicator of sentiment. If right now, if I go back to one of the other gappers, so I'm not going to be watching blue water vaccines, but to go to one of the other gappers here, let's go back to ATA right now. So ATA is in an upwards trend. If I look at it on the hourly, you can see it's continuing in an upwards trend. If I look at it on the 5-minute, it's above the volume weighted average price primarily. Currently right now it's trading above, the candles are forming above the volume weighted average price, the VWAP, which is this blue trend line here. On the 1 minute it's exactly the same. So what tends to happen is, as a good judge of intraday sentiment, you're looking at this, the volume weighted average price. If the candle formations are in whole above the VWAP, it's in an upwards trend. If they are on the whole below the VWAP, it's in a downwards trend. If the candle formations are erratic and they're covering the covering the VWAP, they're starting above and finishing below, or they're starting below and finishing above, then it's sideways trending. It's very choppy. We've seen a lot of that this last week. So how do you know an intraday trend? Then I would look at the VWAP and where the price action is taking place. If it's above the VWAP, it's bullish. If it's below, it's bearish. That's an intraday trend. If you're looking at more long-term trends, then you look at the daily chart. So if we look at this on the daily, let's just zoom out. You can see this is Ethereum is in a downwards trend in the long term. Get the VWAP. The VWAP doesn't apply to daily or higher time frames. But if you look at this on a daily chart, you can see that it's in a downwards trend, regardless of its recent action. So its recent action is really a bounce on the bottom here. We got as far as kind of $2 down here, and now it's trading at 413, 476, I think it is. It's trading at 476. So it's a bounce on the bottom here, but it is still in a downwards trend in the long term. So you want to be looking at a number of things. If your objective is longer term investing, then you want to be finding a chart that's on the up in the long term and is showing some kinds of stability. Whereas this one wouldn't be something that I would be looking to invest in the short term. In the long term, medium to long term, I would be looking to trade it on an intraday basis, because on an intraday basis, it's on the up. So the intraday trend is not necessarily the same as the long-term trend. SBFM is up today. It's 11.27 right now. It's just sold off since kind of just after 7. It was up at above $12. It's sold off since then. But it could be interesting today. Let's zoom back in. Bring up trading view. So this is SBFM on trading view. Make it a little bit bigger so that everybody can see it. This is trading view and this is SBFM. That's the daily. If I look at the week, so let's just, you can see, let's go back to the daily. You can see that this has been up at this level before. So we're currently up here. The last time we was at was summer last year. So if we look at SBFM resistance levels, we've already passed the majority of the resistance levels. There's no clear resistance levels on the daily chart until we get to kind of up here, kind of $15. So we're looking at $15, 1575. So 1570. Those are the kind of levels. We've got a little bit of resistance here at $13, but we've already kind of gone past the 12s, so we could see this go a lot higher. Aside from that, talking kind of $300 around here, so that's due to stock splits, etc. Quiet day today. Not a huge amount in the chat. So I've decided today I'm not trading pre-market unless it's a clear and obvious setup. If you look at let's mark out some support and resistance levels whilst we're here on SBFM, just in case it is the obvious one to trade. We've got this level at $11 acting as support. $11 range. It's not, like I say, it's not then we've got the pre-market high, which is up here at 12.50, 12.47. But you look at the quarter, half and whole dollars, this one's fairly well respected for these quarter, half and whole dollars. Just yesterday, that I'm up like an idiot, I marked out the $7 yesterday as the clear line of support, and then when it sold off at the open, I cut at 706 and it went up to 880 and beyond. So it went up to kind of 880 here, and then it went up to 895 just around lunchtime, and then into power hour it went up to, well, above and beyond. It would power hour it went up to $10, and then after hours 12.45. It would have been a good candidate for a swing trade if I'd just held my guns. From $7 up to 12.45. That's what, $5.50. I made 25 grand on that. No, 50 grand on that. Mullen Motors. It's kind of lost its momentum for a little bit, Mullen. Let's have a look at it on the 1 minute. So see, on the 1 minute, that's the 5 minute chart. Oh, that's the 1 minute chart. It doesn't look much different to the 5 minute chart. So that's the 1 minute chart. That's the 5 minute chart. There's not a lot of difference between the two. The range on each bar is kind of, you're looking at a cent range. So there's nothing happening. There's no volume. There's no range. Mullen's not doing anything. It's 228 is what it's trading at. Pre-market. It's very sideways. But this is what's known as barcoding. And this is Mullen. Yes, MULN. It's in a long-term. The long-term trend is bearish. It's been selling off since last year. If you're still holding bags from kind of $10, $11, $12, then it doesn't look like it's going to make any recovery anytime soon. Mid-March, it had a bit of a rally, but looking at the daily, if I just switch to the daily, it looks more like a dead cat bounce than an actual rally. So it's been selling off since December. And then it comes back down, kind of reaching a low of kind of 50 cents. And then it has this bounce up here, up to almost $4. We get to above $4, yeah, 4.18. And now it's selling off again. I've actually marked a little downwards trend there on the daily, so you can see it's since that dead cat bounce there, it's selling off and it's been rejected at that downwards trend. So Mullen's not looking great. It's not looking very strong at all on the daily. It's not looking very strong intraday either. Want to have a look at the NQ chart? I mean the Nasdaq? This is the Nasdaq. Nasdaq is up on the day slightly, so we're looking at 1/3 of a percentage point up on the day. 355 is the triple Q, which represents the Nasdaq, and it's just choppy sideways at the moment. SONM, yes, I can have a look at that. Well, that's your 1 minute chart right there. No trades at all. Go back to the 5 minute. That's horrible. That's a horrible daily chart. Let's have a look at the daily. Now kind of at the range that we were back in February. So the day, it's not looking great. So it had this peak, this spike mid-March up to kind of 1.6. It's now $75 and selling off. Well, that's not looking very strong at the minute. So if you're shorting it, great, but if you're long on it, it's not looking very good. That's SONM. So it's Sonim Technology, I think it's called. Sonim, something like that. Yeah, cheers, Virginia. I like the shamrocks. Although, why have the shamrocks got four leaves? Shamrocks have only got 3 leaves. I don't know. Oh, it's a 4-leaf clover. Right, okay. Look. Okay, let's get the rest. What's the hot stock for today? Well, we're keeping an eye on Sunshine Bio after yesterday's rally. That is what we're looking at on the screen right now. It's above $11. It did get above $12 pre-market, almost $12.50. But it was started off at $7 yesterday, so actually started off at $6 pre-market, and then moved up to $7 at the open, and then finished above just shy of $10 and moved up to over $12 afterwards. So Sunshine Biopharma this week is very bullish. Long term, let's have a look at the daily. It's not great, but it has been. It has been this high last year. Still holding. Hope you're not still holding this from yesterday. It's not too bad actually. So momentous from yesterday. If I look at let's look at the 30-minute chart, you can see it better. So it had this move up yesterday, big move up, and a bit of a consolidation before moving up at the open, and then consolidated into the close, moved up again. Now it's selling off. So we're kind of break even on the day with 1/4% above, but it's held its gains from yesterday, basically. Didn't move up further. So if you're still holding it from yesterday, I will be concerned about it. I don't think it's going to make much more upwards. That's not financial advice. It may, but it's selling off now, and we've got 90 minutes to the open, so it's now in a downwards trend, and the volume's not great. So HYMC. You need it for MNTS to have a good day today. You need more volume. That's it. Everybody's here for the dog snoring. Nobody even cares about my opinion. They just want to hear the dog snoring. She's outside sunbathing at the minute. So, what was I looking for? HYMC. Yeah, so it's barcoding. Very similar to Mullen Motors. So, just another one of the meme stocks. Let's have a look at it on the 30 minutes so we can see it from a daily perspective. Sold off yesterday, made a bit of a rally towards the end of the day, but selling off again. Looking very weak. On the daily chart, it's not looking very strong. It had a couple of pops and then sold off, so it's retracing too much for a flag formation on the daily, but I'm not confident with a HYMC. It's a low price stock. The volume's not huge today. Would need more volume for some kind of volatility on that one. S&P 500's up today slightly. We're looking at 0.25%. But after selling off yesterday morning, it did have a rally in the afternoon and finished up on the day. So we can effectively 2 days of consolidation after that capitulation that we had for a couple of days. It was a bloodbath for a couple of days, and then we just consolidated sideways since then. So it'd be nice to go have a bit of a rally and move back up again. I've never used 212 Britty, but I use Daytrading Pro. You can get in touch with 212, send them an email and say would they work with Daytrading. The likelihood is they probably would, and then you'd have to work out how that works. But I don't trade 212. BFRI. It's up today by a Frontera. It's on the watch list. It's up 13 points today. So it's selling off right now, the last 5 minutes, or last half an hour. Yeah. Since 7:45 it's been selling off. Well, this needs to have a bit of a turnaround in sentiment because it's not looking great right now. It's retraced. It moved up yesterday. It had a decent day yesterday. Rallied from what did we start off with? We opened at 350s and it went up to 465 yesterday. It closed yesterday at 350s again. No, it closed yesterday at $4. Went up to 570s, 580s today, pre-market. So that's $1.80. It's now down at 460. So we've retraced $1.20 of that $1.80. So for me, I don't like if it's retraced more than 50% of its gains. It's a sign of weakness. So I want to see. I don't mind it retracing and having a pullback, consolidation pullback. But if it retraces 50% or more of its gains, that's a sign of weakness to me, and not from an intraday trading perspective. Not something that we would likely to be trading going into the open. Things could change depending on the volume, of course, or a news catalyst come out that changed the sentiment. But based on the chart action and the price action only, it doesn't look good today. BFRI. It's on the watch list simply because it was one of the pre-market top gappers at the pre-market. Ethereum's looking good again today. 475 at the minute. So Sean's asking about Ethereum. ATAR, I put that on the watch list earlier. And we're currently trading up at 480s. finished yesterday about 380 something, 390-ish. 389 it finished. And we're now 490. So we've made a dollar move out of hours. And it's looking very strong. So that's on the watch list. Looking very strong at the minute. 27% up. It's one of that and BWV are the top gappers. Well, I was going to take a long weekend, but then I realised Good Friday's next weekend, so I don't want to take 2 long weekends in a row. So the markets are closed next Friday, so I won't be trading then. I may as well just, you know, take today as rehab and trade a small account. We've got about 15 trading days left of the month. So the aim is to get, with this small account, I wanted to get $50. I set my goal in February, $50 off a $5,000 account. So I'm setting my goal at $30,000 profit on a $6,000 account. So I want to be finishing April at $36,000 or above. That's my new goal for this month, based on a poor start to the month. Do I do crypto? Yes, I do crypto. Is there a particular coin that you want to look at? I can take a look at Bitcoin right now. So this is Trading View. And what I'll do is I'll just make this the right size so you guys can see it. Let's put... Oh, I've got Bitcoin up here already. So I'll get rid of these moving averages. Okay. This is Bitcoin right now. That's on the hourly. Let's look at on the 30-minute. Let's look at the daily. Oh, we're down at 43s, which is disappointing. 43,000 on Bitcoin. And we really need it to be, when it tapped 45 here and then made a bounce up, I was happy with that. And I thought, okay, well, that's what we wanted to see. We want to see it above 45 for a while. It pushed it up above 45, came back, tapped it as support, and went back up. And I thought, yeah, that's it. Now it's back below 45 and falling. So look at it on the hourly. Not looking great. So this is the hourly chart for Bitcoin. We're consolidating. It's slightly upwards at consolidation, but we're consolidating right now on Bitcoin. And we want to see it move back up again. It needs to back above 45 and hold it this next time. So any particular coin that you want to look at, Crex? Look at Crex. So this is on the hourly. Let's look at it on the daily. So on the daily, it's in a downwards. Crex is in a down, Creative Realities downwards trend. Looking very weak on the hourly chart. It's low volume. Been selling off quite a bit since the end of March when it had that pop. But it's low volume. If I look at it on the 5-minute chart, you can see the lack of volume there. 76 cents. It's just, you can't trade that intraday at all. There's no way to trade that in intraday. Prince. Well, that's the aim. That's the aim. So I did a challenge in February where I turned $5,000, just under $5,000 actually, into $74,000 of profit. So I turned it's $5,000 into 79 in February, That was the challenge that I did. And it was a little bit disappointing because I'd actually turned it into $110,000 and then gave back 20. In the last 2 days, I gave back 25% off the top. So yes, I can. It is possible to turn $5,000 into 30 in 1 month. Riot and Mara. So I was trading those last year when they're up in the 40s, intraday. And let's have a look at Riot and Mara. I mean, when you go on a crypto run, Riot and Mara are really good. So last year, Riot was the leader and Mara followed, and then at the moment, Mara seems to be the leader with Riot following. But right now we're at 1746. And we're trading upwards slightly. We've got it's pretty much following the same pattern as Bitcoin, and Mara will be exactly the same pattern, just different numbers. Yeah, you can see that exactly the same pattern, just different numbers. 23.77, so it's just a slightly higher price stock exhibiting exactly the same numbers. If I look at where they are on the day. No volume on Mara. That's one of the things I would be cautious of, is when they lack volume, the moves tend to be less reliable. But Mara and Riot. So pretty much flat on the day. Up slightly, like a fraction of a percent, but pretty much flat. What you need with these, they tend to trade a lot better during the open. They don't tend to trade very well pre and post market unless it's a really bullish or bearish crypto market, because they need volume to move these two. But if you were in there at threes, Paul, just stay in there. You know, if you're in the long term, you can use those as a cheaper version of buying Bitcoin, because they follow the same trend as Bitcoin. So you can just buy Riot or Mara or whatever, and they will track, and you'll get the same similar, not the identical, but you get similar gains from them as you will from the movement on Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin has a good day, you'll see that Riot and Mara have a good day. But what you will also find is that the extremes will be exaggerated. So Bitcoin might move 5% to the upside, then you'll get Riot and Mara will move 15% to the upside, 20% to the upside. So you can actually gain from that. If you're trading it intraday or even swing trading it up on a week by week basis, if you're looking long term, then you're just looking for similar kind of percentage gains as you get from Bitcoin, and you shouldn't be too disappointed with that as Bitcoin mining stock. Gits and shiggles. Well, we've not started anything yet. It's still early, so we've got a little over an hour before the market opens. So we're not trading anything yet. We're just covering the market. People are asking for my opinions, and it is my opinions. I'm not offering financial advice. They're not stock picks. If you take what I say, in my opinion, and lose money, don't come after me. I'm not a financial advisor. Don't sue me. Is it risky to trade SBFM? I think if you were watching me yesterday, the answer is yes, but it's risky to trade everything. So I didn't stick to my original strategy when I set it out, the $7 support and the $8.50 target, and I lost money. So trading is risky regardless of the instrument. Just remember that. Do I think that there's money to be made with SBFM today? I certainly do. Which way is it going to go, up or down? Well, it's selling off right now. Let's have a look at the stock. It's in a downwards trend right now. So if you look at it on the 5 minute, it's a bit more evident. So this is the five minute chart. So at the close yesterday, it just pumped all the way up to kind of 12.50. The high was 12.47, and it's been consolidating sideways. So it's pretty much kept and held its gains from yesterday, and kind of post-market gains. It went back up and it tested that 1250 level again, up to 1237 was the high there, and we went up again here, so over 1214. So we're getting a slight downwards trend in terms of lower highs, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. What I'm seeing here is a lot of consolidation. On the 5 minute, I'm seeing it is showing strength, even though it's below the volume weighted average right here. It's showing strength. If it comes back up, uses $11 as support, which it has done here and here. What we want to see it do here is use $11 as support and move back up above the VWAP, and it could be a very interesting day if that happens. G'day, Crypto. Welcome back. Always good to see you. I mean, we've got a small chat today, so we'll have 20 people revolving. It'll be a quiet day, but Fridays tend to be very quiet in retrospect, in terms of relatively speaking to the rest of the week. So I don't mind the quiet day today. Just get a few gains, maybe get over, what am I starting with? 6,200. If I can get 300 today in profit, just to get green. I just want a green day under my belt. If I get 300 profit, I'll be happy with that today. That's 5%. So that's what I'm looking for today. Is a 5% gain. 310. That's today's goal. 310 or better. I need to start sticking to my goals on the daily and then quit when it starts going against me. Discipline's been my weakness this last fortnight. On the week, I'm down $4,000 on the week. Ish. Let me just double check those numbers. I think that's right. So what are we at the moment? 3,600 negative on the week is what I am. 3,660. That's my red week. So based on a $6,000 equity position, I would be very reluctant to say that it's realistic for me to gain 3,500 today. So I'm anticipating a second red week in a row. So, which is unusual for me. I think this is only the second time that's happened since February 21. So January 21 was probably the last time I had 2 consecutive red weeks. Yeah, 300 days, Michael. That's fine. Just 5% a day is, you know, if you go 5% a day, you can be a millionaire in theory. You can be a millionaire in 2 years. Why? Aether's just sold off. So Rich, you just told me to hop on Aether. It's just sold off. So I've not mapped out any key levels here right now. So I'm going to map out some key levels. A high of Pre-market is 507. Got resistance point here at 480. Support, tapped to the support there. Resistance here. It's a kind of $0.75 level here, but so it's more likely 475 is the real support resistance level, give or take. We're just at that level now because you can see how many times it's confirmed at 475 up here, and it broke, it came down, tested it as support a couple of times, back under it. So 475 is the level there. We'll just watch those levels now. Let's go back to the 5 minutes, see if there's any other key levels here. Both psychological levels on this one at the minute. We're looking at 450. See how many times it's used that as either support or resistance here. So we're getting confirmation on these psychological levels. $4,000. I don't know what the 4,000 is pertaining to Patreon, but MDVL. I can have a look at that for you. So this one's a low price stock. It's up on the day. Actually, I'm going to take the filters off and on the price, but I can actually see these on the scanners. I don't have to trade them, but if I can see them, I can talk to people that like to trade the lower price stocks. Problem with these lower price stocks, and especially with the smaller accounts, is I don't get the same leverage with it. Okay, right. So MDVL, let me have a look at the catalyst on this one for you. It's currently up 24% on the day. And this is the catalyst. Okay, so from yesterday, Medivale shares are trading higher after Ali Bridge Group reported in a Form 4 filing a purchase of roughly 21 million shares of Medivale Holdings. It's an average price of 106 per share. So Ali Bridge Group has taken a significant shareholding of them. That's why they moved up yesterday, and that's why they're moving up today. It's on the back of that. What kind of size float is it? So it's a 14. It's not a huge float. It's a 14 million share float. So, and it's only 4% shorted. So it's not a huge short interest either. So it's might still get some movement on that later today. $6 calls on ATAR. Let me have a look at where we are with that one. So you want it to move 50%, an additional 50%. It's up 24% now, and you want it to move an additional 50% from where it is. Okay. So basically about 80% on the day. Yeah. Good luck. I hope that happens for you, mate. I hope that happens. I wouldn't. I think you're being ambitious. Personally, I think you're being ambitious, but I do like your positivity. I think $5 calls would have been better right now, where it's $4.75 as the market opens. $5 calls will be more realistic. $5.50 at a push, but $6 calls, it's possible. It's possible. I like your enthusiasm. How much have I lost since when? This week, about just under $3,000, just under $4,000 this week, and that's I'm being completely transparent to everybody, guys. The whole point here is there's no point me coming on here shouting out big gains this, big gains that, and not being completely transparent about the potential to lose money. Every trader in the business, every trader in the game loses money. Red days are as normal as green days. It's about, you know, managing that and the emotional element of that, managing it and how you manage it. So you're going to lose money. If you get into the markets, you are going to lose money. The question is, can you be profitable in the long term? Because there are going to be days and there are going to be weeks where you lose money. It's a question of, can you be profitable in the long term? You need a strategy to be profitable in the long term. If you want to learn a strategy, a proven profitable strategy, and I post my profitability on the sales page, there's a course. Just check out the course in the link tree. Do I see SBMF hitting 15 today? Let me have a look at that from the hourly chart and so let's go for that rare line that I drew yesterday. It's disappeared. So where would that? I'm not sure about 15 today. I think, yeah, I don't know about 15. 14 maybe. If it moves up, it's used $11 as a support, as I said it needed to. But I'm not sure about. I think 15 today is ambitious. We're expecting it to move another. It's already up 16% right now. We expect it to move another 50%, 40%. So we want it to move kind of 50%, 60% up on the day. It could do. We've seen it do it before. So I'm not saying it will, but it's possible. Which broker am I using? Capital Markets. Capital Markets Elite Group is the broker I use. I don't know where you read that, but I sincerely doubt that's going to happen there, Rochi. So Rochi read Ethereum will become #1 and rise to 35k this year. Not going to happen. You wanted Ethereum to have a 10x moon in, what are we now, April? 8 months? It's not going to happen. Well, the point is, if you're getting, somebody comes up to me and says, I want to learn how to day trade. The first thing I'm going to say is don't do it. You know, there's safer and easier ways to make money online. There really is. It's risky. Trading is risky. Over 80% of people, over 85% of people that get involved in day trading lose money. If you start looking at other instruments, when I say get involved in day trading, get involved in trading the stock market, they lose money. 85% of people lose money long term. They're never profitable. That percentage goes high when you include other instruments such as Forex and options trading and futures and etc. So if you take in all instruments, all financial instruments that you can day trade, 95% of people lose money long term. So me coming on and not showing the days that I lose is just trying to paint a pretty picture. I don't want to paint a pretty picture because I don't want people to say, look, shit, that guy on the internet that I was watching trading, he was lying to me. I'm not lying. Trading's risky. you're going to lose money. Everybody loses money. The best traders lose money. Look at Kathy Gill. She's, you know, I think 50% down on ARK Invest at the moment on the ETFs that she did. She's one of the best investors in the industry, and her company is 50% was 50% down earlier this year because of some of the investment that she made. So even the best investors lose money. You know, just be careful. Trade a strategy that's proven to be profitable. If you want to know if you want a strategy that's proven to be profitable, a lot of people have asked me to teach them. I built a course on proven profitable strategies, but it's down to you to have the mental capacity, the mental fortitude, and the emotional fortitude to trade with discipline. And what's cost me this last week, this last 10 days or so, has been my ill discipline. I've looked at the majority of my trades, and I've even commented on them when I've done my YouTube trade reviews, that I've entered them for the right reasons. The trade plan as I've entered the trade has been on point in the majority of the trades that I've taken. A couple of exceptions. And when the trade's gone against me, I've just traded it badly and been ill-disciplined around it. So it's the mental fortitude and the emotional element around the discipline of being a trader and trading a profitable discipline is probably 3/4 of what you need to be a profitable trader. It's that piece that you can't learn. It just comes with practice. It comes with you learning and controlling your emotions and learning how to control your emotions. And that's not easy to do. That's the most difficult part of becoming a profitable day trader, is the emotional element. Anybody can learn how to read charts. Anybody can learn how to spot patterns. Anybody can learn the methodologies about risk and versus reward, and anybody can learn that. And I teach that. But not everybody has the capability. Not everybody can be risk averse. So to be in a losing position and just hold the line, as it were, knowing, having the power of your convictions, knowing what the technicals are showing you, that this is just people selling and taking profits, or this is people trying to short it, but the buyers long term are going to step in and it's going to reach a certain level. Knowing that and actually acting upon it are two different things. And I'm a perfect example of that yesterday. I called out pre-market where my stop loss was, and I called out what my take profit was. And you know what? I got out before it hit my stop loss. I cut I lost money because of it. If I'd held to my stop loss, I would have made probably $15,000-$16,000 yesterday. But I didn't. I wasn't disciplined enough to trade my own strategy. And that's the element that is extremely difficult to master. So Michael, having $1 million to day trade is probably not something I would recommend unless you start trading high cap stocks. So I primarily trade low to mid cap stocks. Having $1 million to day trade, the economies of scale are just not there. It's nice to have a 7-figure account, because that way you can trade the small cap stocks, but you're not looking for the 4-5% daily gains. You're looking for micro percentage gains, because to expect to be making $50,000 a day is an unrealistic expectation on small cap stocks. Because to do that, let's say we're trading SPFM right now, it's $10 a share, and you want to make $50,000 a day on that. Realistically, you're looking at a move. Let's say the range is going to be $2. So you need to be taking 25,000 shares to ride that full range. And the likelihood is that you're not going to get the full move. You might only get half the move, which means you're going to have to take 50,000 shares. And for you to profit on a 50,000 share move, there's got to be somebody else in the market that's going to sell you those 50,000 shares. And there's going to be someone else that's going to buy them off you when you want to sell. So the economies of scale don't work with the small cap stocks, particularly low float stocks. Because if you try and sell 50,000 shares in one go, the price is going to tank. It's going to impact the price, and it's going to dip. And then if you put a market order in, you're going to get massive slippage. If you put a limit order in, the chances are you're going to get skipped. So there's a lot of things that I would say in terms of the scale, and which is why I always take my profits out of my day trading account. I take the profits at the end of each month and I redistribute them into other investments, whether it be crypto, whether it be ETFs, whether it be my stock portfolio with high cap stocks, and looking at, I've not bought any real estate yet. I'm waiting for that to go through, but I do have my own house where the wife and kids live. But looking at other investments. So once you get to 7 figures, Michael, you should be looking at redistributing that wealth into other areas. You're not going to get the same level of gains on a daily, but it will work better for you in terms of economies of scale. So yes, be ambitious and get to a point where you've got over $1 million in gains that you've made, but you want to reinvest that in other areas that are a little less risky and a little more secure in terms of returns. Well, you can buy blocks of 5,000 shares 10 times and do it that way. But what I'm saying is, if you do it that way, you're not going to capture the whole move. So you can get a $2 move, and if you capture $1 of it, you know, to get $50,000 at $10 a share, every time you take another block of 5,000 shares, you're just going to scale in until you've got 50,000 shares or whatever it is, and then how are you going to get rid of them? Or are you going to scale in and scale out and ride it all the way up and down? And every time you sell, you're impacting the downwards tick. So yeah, big risk, big reward. Absolutely, that's what I was going for yesterday, and I didn't have the discipline to hold. That was my problem yesterday. I figured I mapped it out on the technicals, and I figured SPFM is going to make at least 850, and it went up to 880. But I had, and if you look at SPFM yesterday, let's just talk about this for a second. Let's go on the 15. Let's go on the 5 minute. Let's scale out. Go back to yesterday at the open. Okay. So this was the open yesterday. I'll zoom in. This is the 5 minute chart. So I took a position at the open, and my average cost was 744, which was here. And I told everybody at the time that I was in at 744, and I said, look, I'm holding this into the open, and it was very choppy. I'm holding this into the open. My goal is 850. My target is 850. This should moon to 850. You can see here that the support level at $7 was pretty constant. So we had support at $7, confirmed multiple times, even more so on the 1 minute time frame. But on the 5 minute time frame, we saw this support at $7 here. How many times it actually tapped the $7? Didn't even break it. How many times did it tap the $7 pre-market? Came down, and I got out at 706 on this levels, and it went up. Broke kind of 760s, came back down, went up, and then 743, 780, 751, which is what my original goal was, 783, and then as we get later in the day, it starts to range very choppy over $8, and at the close it goes up to 987. And then after the close, it's up to over 1250. So not having the mental or the emotional fortitude just to hold your own strategy, the trade that you call and the plan that you call, and cutting because it's getting close to your stop loss, and you're thinking, I'm going to look like I've got egg on my face because I said the stop at $7. It's support at $7, and I'm going to look like I've got egg on my face if this doesn't go my way. So I cut at 706. And it's that emotional element that gets the better of the best of us. If I just held, or if I put a physical stop, if I put an electronic stop at $7 and just walked away, I would have made about $15,000, $16,000 yesterday. More. So, you know, sometimes if you believe in your trade, just stick to your convictions. But that risk reward is key. I mapped out my target of 850. I was in at 744. The support level was $7. I should have just held. But hindsight is 20/20 vision. You know, we can all be the best trader in the world in hindsight. So that was SBFM yesterday. I'm not going to talk any more about that yesterday, because I want to compare. I want to concentrate on today's price action. I want to concentrate on today's. So what patterns do I use? I use flags, wedges, triangles, you name it. I look at all the different patterns. I trade 5 days a week. I take the days off. That's why I don't day trade crypto, because a couple of things with crypto is that to get the kind of volatility that you get with stocks, you can day trade crypto. Of course you can. But to get the volatility to day trade stocks, you really go into the low cap coins. That's where the volatility is. To get the volume that you get with low cap stocks as well, for those reliable breakouts, that's usually the coins that are on the major crypto exchanges, the major coin exchanges. So you don't get those low cap volatile coins on the main crypto exchanges where you get all the volume. So it's kind of a little bit of a trade-off that you're looking at when you're trading crypto intraday. But you can do intraday trading of crypto. One of the big problems that I have is that if I was trading crypto intraday and I was trading profitably intraday, say that word when you've had a few, then I'll be doing it 7 days a week. And that I need time off. It's as much as people say this is easy money or whatever, it isn't. It's stressful. It's an extremely stressful job, and you don't have the wherewithal of the company and comrades at the water cooler to vent. It's a lonely, stressful job, and it is a job. It's a career path. So that's another reason why I don't trade crypto, because I'll be at it 7 days a week. I wouldn't be able to stop myself. I said I was going to have a long weekend and not trade today, and look at me, here I am. Can't help myself. New day, new way. No, new day, same way. New day, new opportunity. That's what I'm looking at. A lot of big volume on MDVL. The range is not great, but there's big volume. So let's just have a look at. It's not a huge flow. You'd have to take big size. The thing is, be careful when you're trading these smaller stocks, because you have to take bigger size to avail of a smaller move. So the smaller moves are a bigger percentage move, but if you're talking about 2 cents, for example, that's an entire percent move on a $2 stock. So if you're talking 20 cents, that's a 10% move. So to avail of that, you've got to take bigger size, because a 10% move is a big move in short space of time. So just be careful with these smaller stocks. So Ethereum's looking nice today. SBFM is still interesting. It's not at the level I would normally trade, which is 15% up on, over 14% up on the day. But the fact that it's held its gains from yesterday is what's really appealing on this. If you look at it from this point of view, $11. It's trying to hold that $11 as support. It's kind of bounced there and then came back up. So if it holds $11 into the open, I can see it potentially could make another move up. But we're so far extended now, so far up here at $11, $12, that there might be quite a lot of people want to take profits from yesterday. If people are swinging this from yesterday, from kind of $7, $8, they might want to take profits at the open. So just watch for a dip before a potential move up. So you might get that red to green move. MNTS is already selling off. Last time I looked at it. Yeah, so it made a little bit of a move up. It's kind of break even. It's slightly down on the day. So made a little bit of a move up to kind of 490, almost 490, 465 after hours last night. Tried it again this morning. Oh no, it was last night again. So last night, which was kind of 480s, where it was, where it went up to 487, and then it's now 435. So it's slightly down on the day. MNTS, it's underneath the VWAP. It's not looking as strong as something like SBFM. Had a really good day yesterday, but when did it start turning bearish? Yeah, so it started turning bearish as soon as the pre-market opened this morning, 4 o'clock. It's selling off all morning, really. So it could turn around. It's not got the volume that I like to see, but we might get a continuation. You could get a continuation with that, but Fridays tend to be a bit more. I know someone, so Prince wants, he's saying, can you trade 2 stocks simultaneously? I'd say that's impossible. It's not impossible. I have done it in the past, but it is difficult. And to do it effectively, you need at least 2 montages open on your desktop at the same time. I know someone that actually would trade up to 4 different stocks at a time. It will have 4 different charts, each with the montage next to the chart, and each a different stock. That's too much for me. I've tried 2 stocks at a time. I prefer to concentrate just on one, but I've tried 2 stocks at a time. That is possible with, and I would have 4 charts open, but 2 of them will be, there'll be 1 and 5 minutes, but 2 of them will be one stock, 2 of them will be other, and I have the montage next to both of them, 2 montages either side of it. So to do it properly, you could have multiple charts open at any one time and a single montage and just flick between the stocks as you're doing the movement. But if you're going to be really taking advantage of the moves on the 1 minute time frame, it's very difficult to trade multiple at the time. It's probably easier with a higher time frame, Prince. If you're trading multiple tickers at the same time, it's easier with the higher the time frame, the easier that will be. It then becomes more akin to investing. The higher the time frame goes, you start talking about days, weeks, months, then of course you can trade more than one at a time. So that's more like investing or swing trading. But if you're talking intraday trading, it becomes difficult. The most I've seen anyone do is 4 at a time, and you need multiple screens for that. Do I trade both fundamental analysis and technical analysis, or just one? Technicals. I trade the price action primarily. The reason I'm saying that is intraday, the fundamentals have less relevance. So I'm talking about MNTS. It's up on the screen right now, but let's flick through the time frames. Okay, if you look at the daily, it's not a great chart. On the daily, it's actually quite a weak chart. It's selling off. It's in a downwards trend on the daily. But if we then come to the 60-minute chart, you can see over the last few days, it's been quite a reasonably upwards trend, and then we had this pop here. So it looks quite strong here. On the intraday basis, if we look at the 5-minute, we can actually see what we did yesterday. We made this move up, and it was quite strong. We've made another move up, so we've got reasonable. I've got that pop there, so we've got this reasonable looking chart from an intraday basis, so we can take advantage of these moves intraday, regardless of what the underlying fundamentals are telling us. From a fundamental point of view, when we're looking for the gap, for a gap and go, for example, then we do want to know what the float is, what the float size is. We do want to know if there's high short interest. We do want to know, is there a news catalyst that's actually prompting a particular move in either a bullish direction or a bearish direction. So that's where the fundamentals come in. But no, do I really care what the true value of the stock is? Do I really care about the long-term survival of the stock from an intraday basis? Hell no, I don't care about any of these stocks as long as I can make profit from them. So yes, technical is what we trade on an intraday basis. Fundamental is more akin to value investing, and if you want more security around swing trading, you'd use fundamentals as well. I hope that answered your question, Emily. What percentage of your impact? Try asking that question again, but this time in English, if you can. Do I use stock screeners? Yes, that's what you're seeing in the middle of the in the middle of the screen. So these here are my scanners, stock screeners. I've got 6 open on my laptop, but you're seeing 2 of them. So you're seeing the gap scanner, which is here. This is telling me which is moved up the most since yesterday's close, and you're also seeing the momentum scanner, so which is moving the most in the last 15 minutes. And there's a couple of caveats with that as well, but yeah, this is Benzinga, and Benzinga is indispensable. It's probably the best word I would use as far as I'm concerned. I wouldn't be able to get my stock picks and the information that I have in terms of stock selection without Benzinga. There are other forums, there are other platforms that you can use, and there are some free platforms. They're not as good, but there are some free platforms. You get what you pay for, as I say. But Benzinga for me is essential. For me to be profitable, I have to have Benzinga, and I use Benzinga every single day. So that's where I get the information from. Okay, so what percentage of my income comes from trading versus my course? I would say I've got, that's just not the only income streams I have though. So of all my income, I probably get about 75% from trading. 75 to 80% of my income is trading. Yes, I have the course, which at the moment that course is relatively new, because I only published that at the beginning of March, so it was only really 1 month, 1 month on that course to go off. But if that continues to grow, that would be another good income stream. More, it's not totally passive because there are a lot of engagements that have to do with that. But then I have a lot of affiliate commissions, got my e-commerce stores. I do consulting, still in the industry that I used to be in, and I've probably got about 4 or 5 different income streams at this stage. And I've got I do swing trading, I've got crypto as well, and my investments, which are more long-term, but on a day-by-day basis, I would say probably 75 to 80% of my income comes from day trading. Okay. Quiet at the moment. Half an hour to the market opens. We've just did we get? Yeah, we did. No, we didn't. Kind of looking for the huge volatility spikes at yes, we did. There we go. There's one on Ethereum. We didn't get one there. Oh, I didn't see the huge volume spikes for the 8 o'clock scrum. Small one there. Oh. Right, okay. Interesting. That's a suggestion that today's volume. So we've just had a bit of a sell-off from SBFM. It didn't hold $11. Now down at kind of 1040s. $10.40s. We had this. Look on the 5 minute. Just looking for key areas of support and resistance. So we came down to 1034. The high of that first candle after hours yesterday was 1046. So really we're probably looking at this $0.25 level, 1025 as a psychological level, 1050 up to, yeah, so 1050 I would say is probably the level that we need to watch. Back on the 1 minute, zoom in. Yeah, so it's around 1050, pop down to 1035. Got to know these support and resistance levels are not to the cent. They are areas, support and resistance areas, they're not to the cent. But you can use the cent as your targets and your entry points, etc., exit points or whatever. But they're not to the cent. They are support and resistance areas. Hits and shiggles. It's a monthly fee, but if you finish with the course in 30 days, you just cancel at the end of the 30 days. You get access to all of that content from day one, and if you've managed to digest it, you get access to a private Discord. I will be publishing a lot more on the Discord as well. You get access one-to-one to me as well. So you can. I'm also going to be showing some or talking through the trades in a wider forum, if you will. So you get to utilize me as a mentor, as it were, if you see value in that. How long did it take me to learn to trade? About 5 minutes, Aaron. How long? I think the question that you're really asking is, how long did it take me to learn to trade profitably? And I'm sorry to be facetious about that, but learning to trade is easy. Learning to trade profitably isn't. Anybody can push a button and buy a stock and then sell it for a loss, or buy a stock and sell it for a gain. You know, anybody can do that. The principles of trading are relatively easy concepts to understand. When you get into the strategies of being profitable and staying profitable, understanding the market mechanics of the market, and understanding the economics and how the market's impacted by macroeconomics and all that kind of stuff, without going into too much detail, that becomes a bit more technical, if you will. Learning how to read charts, learning how to spot chart patterns, that's a bit more technical. But yeah, I would say I lost money consistently for a good 6 to 7 months before I started to be consistently profitable. I put a lot of money into the market. That, for me, I didn't have the benefit of a mentor. I didn't have the benefit of a tutor or a strategy to call upon to start off with. So my tuition fee was the money I lost in the markets. And I lost a considerable amount of money. I lost a good amount of the money. I've made that back since, multiple times over. But in the first instance, I lost money. And most traders do. I keep saying it. And I'm trying to be transparent for anybody thinking this is easy money. It isn't. And my performance this week, I'm $3,660 down this week alone since start of Monday to today. I'm over, almost 4,000 down on the week. So I like to think I trade a profitable strategy. It's not the strategy that wasn't profitable this week. It was me. I just didn't trade it disciplined. I didn't trade it well. And I didn't trade it well. I've got to say, I've not traded well on a single day. I've looked back at my trades. I've not traded well on a single day since probably Wednesday last week. The last time I traded well was probably Wednesday last week. Let me just have a look at which one. Was it either Tuesday or Wednesday last week? Just have a quick look. My journal. No, actually Wednesday wasn't a good Tuesday. Tuesday was the last time I traded really well. Monday and Tuesday last week were good days. Since then I've been off my game for whatever reason, and which is why I really wanted to have a long weekend and just kind of regroup, because if I'm looking at prior to that, I've been trading really well consistently for about 2 or 3 weeks, and last week Wednesday was the start of it, and yeah, I traded poorly on the Wednesday, managed to get green, so started off, dug a bit of a hole. Forge came and saved my bacon in the afternoon. Thursday we lost a lot of money, a huge amount of money. Friday we followed that up with another huge amount of money, so 2 big red days in a row. So we regrouped over the weekend, and that's what I need to do this weekend. We traded well on Monday and Tuesday this week. No, we didn't. We traded well on Tuesday to start off with, and then we got erratic. So no, this week we haven't traded well at all. We dug a little bit of a hole on Monday, had to recover from it. Tuesday we were in profit, gave it back, and ended up finishing in profit. Wednesday we dug a hole and finished in profit. And yesterday was a terrible day. It should have been a great day. So I've just traded badly this last 7 trading days. 7 trading days, I'm right. I've just had a bad period. And that happens. You go through streaks. It does happen. You have green streaks, and prior to last week, when we had that three weeks of really good green streak in terms of maybe one or two red days, very small red days. So yeah, we've just traded badly for a period of about 7 trading days now. Profit and loss, we're down we're just under 4,000 down this week, Rasper. So we're having a red week. So it'll effectively be the you're in the hole. It's down under $10 now, NASA. You bought 10,000 shares at $11. Yeah, it is a falling knife right now. Ouch! It's about to go red on the day. So it's lost all its post-market gains. All of its out of hours gains. So this needs a bit of a turnaround for it to become profitable today. We've got 20 minutes before the market opens. And the direction that SBFM is taking, I mean, it's just gone red on the day, so not looking very good. Pre-market, out of hours high was yesterday at 12:45. Oh, it's 4 o'clock. After the market closed, it went up and hit the high around 5 p.m. ish. Per take. I hope you got out before that. It's now down at $7. Ouch. So that just went from $11 to $7 in 20 minutes. I hope you got out on that one, NASA. When and this is the thing that, both in terms of discipline to stick to your plan, but also to save you money, is take advantage of stops. It wouldn't have worked right now because if it's pre-market, stops don't work pre-market, so automatic stops don't work pre-market. It depends, Josh. If you're looking at trading pre-market, then you can include pre-market data. If you're looking at trading just open hours, then pre-market data doesn't really, you can use that, and you still want to be looking at the pre-market information. But if you're looking at your trend lines, you might be looking at a higher time frame. So key areas of support and resistance can be found pre-market. So if you get a pre-market high and you're looking at something that's bullish, and you're looking for a gap and go, which is one of the strategies I like to use. So you're looking for something that's on the gap and go strategy. You look at your pre-market high and you're waiting for it to reach that pre-market high as the market opens, and that's your entry point for the go. As it breaks that pre-market high, you usually get the flood of volume coming in. No, absolutely. You should always have the crypto says never enter a trade if you don't know your stop or risk level. But the point there is you should plan your trade, even if it's only a fraction of a second before you get in. You can spot it on the patterns on the chart. You can actually, there's the support, there's the resistance, there's my entry, there's my exit. Before you get in, have a plan. Plan your trade first. The saying is, plan your trade and then trade your plan. Hey John, good afternoon to you as well. So yesterday's level of $7 that it was consistently holding, it's just come all the way down to 7.18. So that $7 level is proving to be a very, very strong support. Will it break below $7? Yeah, eventually. But for now, it's I can see that's a very key level. $7 is a very key level. What we've now got is this window here for this huge drop from 975 to 850. A huge window there now. What else is moving? Crypto, that's not your saying. Stop trying to get credit for that for that saying. That's not, you know very well that's not your saying. Yeah, 8 is still looking decent. Ethereum 16% up, still looking fairly strong intraday. Glad I didn't try and all right, let's redo our watch list. So that's a stock split, or reverse stock split. MDAVL. Yeah, I'm not enamored with this one. The volume, it's got good volume, but let's have a look at the relative volume. Yeah, it's good. It's high volume, but it's not at the minute. It's got all those too many blanks. That's MDVL. BFRI. Again, it's retraced too much. We're looking at 520, 515 I've got here. Support. Yeah, so 515 is a key level there. Yeah, everything's selling up. We're getting quite a bit of sell-off right now from the gappers. Endra Life is up 34%. It's too small for me to be trading. NDRA. But if you are looking for something to trade that's a little low price, you've got a small account, this one's moving up quite nicely. Got key levels around 50, 57. I'd say 55 cents is a key level. 60 cents is a key level. So every 5 cents there's a key level. So just be careful with this one. So you're getting either support or resistance at every 5 cents on NDRA. If you're trading it, just be careful. Map out the levels. Map out the levels. Yeah, so we're not getting huge volume over the last 15 minutes. So lag. No. Just keep an eye on the scanners. Yes, you can. You can start with $2,000. There's no minimum amount to start investing. Is a thing. Now, trading and investing are two different things. Day trading is difficult to get the gains. It depends on your objective. If you're happy with the $20 gain, if you're starting with $2,000 and really you want to be looking at percentage, have a word with your broker, whichever broker you're thinking of. what kind of leverage will you get with $2,000? Because capital markets, for example, who I'm trading with here, won't give me 6 times leverage on anything less than $2,500. So I have to have a minimum of $2,000 to get that 6 times leverage. I get, I think, between I'll have to double check, but I think from 500 to 2,500, it's, I'm not sure if it's 2x or 4x, but it's a smaller leverage I can get. I think it's 2x. I'll double check that. Yeah, so you might not get as much leverage with only $2,000, but you can trade with it. So if you're only getting, let's say you get 4x with it. So I think Interactive will give you four times leverage with $2,000. So Interactive brokers, you'll get $8,000 worth of buying power. Cheers, Michael. And if you're looking at take your buying power and you really want to set your gains, your daily goal is about 1%, realistically speaking. Take your buying power and it's 1%. So if you've got $2,000 and you get a 4 times leverage, that gives you $8,000 buying power. So you've got to be happy with an $80 gain on a day. If you're happy to making $80 a day, then 2,000 is enough for you. Anything more than that, then you're being ambitious. Can you get more than that? Yeah, great. Of course you can. But you really want to be setting your daily goal at about 1% of your equity or your buying power. If you've got an $80,000 account, then you should be looking at $800 a day. Me, I've got a buying power today of 37, so me setting my goal at 300 is absolutely spot on. I actually set my goal slightly different, but because I get 6 times leverage on this broker, I look for 5% gains on the equity as opposed to 1% on the buying power. But there's not much difference. What happened to SBFM? It sold off. It had a mad sell-off. It's now 27% down, 25% down on the day. So we're now looking at one of the top gappers down with SBFM. But it's now resting at $7, which was a key support level yesterday. I called this out as my stop loss yesterday and cut before it did. So it's just bounced 3 times now on $7. So if it breaks below $7, it's finished. I could see it selling off even further. So if you can invest $20,000, don't do it. If you're scared to invest $20,000, don't do it. First and foremost, if you don't understand crypto, I'm not trading crypto. So I do trade crypto, but this isn't crypto. This is equities, it's stocks, it's shares, etc. And if you've got $20,000 and to you that's all the money that you have, don't invest $20,000. If you want to get into the markets and you've got $20,000 to invest, what I would say is put $15,000 of that into much less risky, put them into ETFs, the market index-linked ETFs, and you'll get 7-8% annually on it, 9%, 10%, 12% at a push. But you'll make gains that are higher than inflation. You'll get gains that are better than having it in the bank. Okay, the other 5,000, then put that into a brokerage account, a margin account, where you can actually get with $5,000, $20,000 or $30,000 worth of buying power, and learn how to day trade. But do it in a simulator. Learn how to day trade in a simulator. Learn how to swing trade in a simulator. Learn how to do it first. Learn methodologies, learn strategies before you actually put real money on the line. Get consistently profitable in a simulator before you put real money on the line. If you can't be profitable in a simulator when there are no emotions involved, then you're not going to be profitable with real money on the line. So don't ever put money into the markets that you can't afford to lose. So what I'm looking at, if you've got $20,000 to invest, put $15,000 into low-risk index-linked funds or bonds or whatever your flavor that you're having, and then maybe you can risk $5,000. If $5,000 is too much for you to risk, then risk $2,500 and keep 2.5 back. So if you do blow up your account, you can replenish it with the 2,500 you get back. So that's the way I would approach it, is don't put more into the markets than you can afford to lose, because you will lose. Guaranteed you will lose. The one thing I can guarantee you is that you put money into the markets, you will lose money. It's just a case of how much money you lose and how much money you lose before you can get profitable. And the markets, like you just seen with SBFM, they can be irrational, and they can be irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Well, the move from $9 to $7 was a quick one. I'm going to watch this in 4 minutes to see if we get a bounce, because we're right on that support line, and support of $7 was key yesterday, and we've just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times we've tapped that support level now of $7. So the question is, will it hold $7 at the open, or will it bounce? Because this could be good for a reversal. Let me just pull up my trading view. Let's stick the RSI on this. It's the wrong one. SBFM on the RSI. Right, so we've got the RSI here now. So even now with it's still not showing as oversold. That's on the daily. Let's get it on the hourly. It's still showing as overbought. So we've just got this the purple line, by the way, is what we're looking at. So we're still not, it's still not oversold, so this could still sell off on the RSI. So it's not exhausted in terms of it continuing to sell and take profit. So just be careful with SBFM. It's still got a lot of room to continue selling off based on the RSI. We're currently in here at 40, was it 45-ish? Okay, how we're looking today? Oh, we're still looking. We're still trying to find something to trade right now, just as the market's about to open. We've got less than a minute. Shando, if you're happy with that 1100 profits, just walk away. Walk away. Or if nothing else, just size down. So you can continue to trade after the bell, but as soon as you start giving profits back, walk away. But what I would do is size down, and you can always scale into the moves. If they're going in your favor, you can scale into the moves. But just size down so that you're not giving those profits back, Shanda. Okay, there's the open. Let me change all the scanners onto regular market. I've been very disciplined this morning. I've not taken a single trade pre-market. $21. Here's the pre-market high on that one. Got a nice opening range with that. It's selling off 463. That's traded halted. It's trading halt. Don't want to mess with that. Market high on this is 1476. We've got a resistance level at 1427. So now we're just looking at the opening range. Look for an opening range bear cap. This is the one that is looking for a bounce here. After the, if you look at the daily, it sold off heavily yesterday. And look at the 60s, probably better. Sold off heavily yesterday. We're now looking for a bit of a bounce. So we're getting a similar kind of look from that yesterday as we're getting with SPFM now. So this is slowly making its way back up. It's going to take that's 79. So if we get 780, I might take a starter position. ATA's moving up, so let's have a look at ATA. Pre-market highs up here at 507, so we're a little extended away from there, but let's have a look at the 463 opening range high. If it gets over the VWAP on high volume, it could be interesting. Rejected at the VWAP. So I want to see it take the VWAP and then maybe come back and retest it as support, get the VWAP bounce. Okay. Low of this candle now is 67. Got a little cushion. There we go. Look at it. So 175 is a good start. Good start. $175 to start off with. Trading smaller now. Simple fact. SPY selling off, it is indeed, as is the Nasdaq. Market high session now is 480 we're looking at. So 8 is one. It's on the momentum scanner. It was the top gapper that's on the momentum scanner as well. So we've got Tyrion here, looking for the next candle to make a new high. High of this candle is 473. What platforms allow pre-market trading? There's quite a number. Interactive allows you to trade pre-market. And with capital markets, and it allows pre-market trading. Have a look at, do your research. Have a look on the websites. This is not looking strong. It's a bit weak. This one is 65. Hello. Okay. You're right to sell at the right time. Just being disciplined now. Can't afford to be anything else. MDVL. Let's make him moves up. For an entry. LGHL. Similar sort of price. Oh, not got the volume though. MDVL does have the volume. Whoa, what happened there? That's just ranging sideways now. It's holding that $7 level though. In 78. SBFM. Hey you. So we'll get a bull flag here. The high of that one is 231. Oh. Be safe. This is not just consolidating sideways, this one. There we go. It's finding it difficult to get. I wanted 10 cents. 37. We test the highs, 40 maybe. It's giving it 7 cents, but to make 13. So 220, get it. It's risking 7 cents on the share for this one. Hey, you're not helping me here. I get it. Yeah. In that flat bottom there, that's looking very bearish, very weak. So that looks like it's going to break at some stage. Look at that 220. There we go. Sorry, broke the 220. Let's have a look at what the rest of them are doing. So we're just ranging sideways with SBFM. We've got an 80-cent range here, $7 to $7.80. Later sold off. Let's have a look at what else is moving. There's a lot of smaller stocks moving, but they're just not the right price. Lyra, let's have a look at the Lyra chart. Okay. What platform do I trade? This platform here is Daytrader. So this is Daytrader. Okay. DAS, or direct access software. Just shares. I trade options with Interactive. I don't use Daytrader for trading options. Yeah, so that's broke through. Finally broke the $7. It's selling off now, so you can forget about SBFM now for a while. Had a good week. Now it's selling off, and that's what happens with these low cap stocks. They'll pump up and then they'll sell off just as quick. So we've not really taken much with We were up on 8 of them, then we gave it back. Low cap stock MDVL didn't really go our way. Just ranging sideways. Let's see that. Decide what direction it wants to take. So it's up 21% in the last 15 minutes. It made that pump. Let's have a look at SST. This has been moving all week. Too expensive. Small account, you really want it under $20 for a small account. Better. I'm not getting the momentum with anything really at the moment. It's got to be over $5 really. Everything's spiking down. On these signals that I'm getting, the signal alerts that I'm getting, it's price spike down, price spike down. There's a lot of red on the markets today. Nasdaq selling off, the SPY selling off. So let's have a quick look at the Nasdaq, SPY, or in reverse, selling off. So had a bit of a rally yesterday, but consolidated, so they both sold off at the open yesterday and Wednesday, just to rally later in the afternoon. So we may do a similar kind of thing today, sell off at the open and rally later. I wouldn't put my mortgage on it. We've got this opening range high here, 14.14. It gets above 14, could be interesting. I have days. Ideally, we wanted to get in here, but the move up. Got a bit of a double bottom. Ideal, yeah. We got in there, and then our stop would have been down here at 12. So got in at 13. Right, look for the VWAP bounce. Next candle to make a new high. Very slow day today. It's a seller's market today. Look at SBFM is the biggest sell-off now. So it's a seller's market. I have that candle is 46. So it's about a steady climb. It's now over the VWAP. VWAP's at 461. Nothing's following through. This is the problem this last couple of weeks is we've had gappers and they've just not followed through. They've not held the gains, or they've just been very choppy. SBFM was the real, exception to that rule this last week. Still choppy though. Okay, let's adjust the chat. There's not a lot going on in terms of trading from myself right now. I'm just trying to find something to trade, but if it's one of those days, I wasn't going to trade today. I was going to have a long weekend, but I came in and right now we're $500 down. So if we find something to trade, we'll trade it. But otherwise, I'll just leave it at 500. It's not a big loss. ATA's selling off now, so I just put ATA. It was steady gap up, really at that $half level. When we broke it for the second time, because we went up here on ATA, we wanted to see it above, retest it as support, but it didn't. It broke through. So when it came back up again, retest it as support this time. This was the entry point here, was 456. So we missed that. The reason I wouldn't have got in that is because we've effectively only got 3 cents to the VWAP. The VWAP would have 4 cents. So there's another resistance level there that we've already seen here. So there's no real safe entry, no clean entries there on ATA on that move up. We could have got in at kind of 456. Maybe it got in for the break of the VWAP, but then you really want to see it break the VWAP, come back and test it as support. Because it went up to 475, then came and tested it as support and broke through. So again, we've not had really any good entries with ATA. Yeah, the wider markets have just they've sold off, but they did it yesterday as well, and the day before. They sold off in the early hours, and then kind of rallied after lunch to finish green. So BFRI. I looked at this earlier as it was ranging around the VWAP. We had this double bottom, so yeah, let's have a look. What's the volume? BFRI, Biofrontera, it's good volume. Let's see if we can find an entry point. It's extended right now. We sold off, we're coming up, and then now we're moving up. So let's see if we can't get a high there, 530. I want to see some volume coming. A pull back. We want the pullback. Good for us. So the high here is 530. About to make a new candle, so that's the first red candle. So lighter volume. That's the problem with this green candle. Next green candle to make a new high. The high of this candle right now is 523. This one 520. very slow. Consolidated sideways. We're not getting the breakouts. So we got the little bull flag set up, and then it went up to 525. We didn't continue. We didn't get the little bit of volume coming through, but we didn't get the breakout. So I'll just take the $100 and go on that one. Just not getting the consistency today. Where is SBFM bullish at, please? It's not. It's 32% down. It's selling off. I'll give you. So this is the 1 minute. I'm going to give a look at the 5 minutes and zoom out. So selling off. It's down at 640s now. On the 1 minute, I can zoom out a little bit so you can see. So it was up here at over $11 pre-market. It went up to kind of over $12 at one stage pre-market, and then that, goodness, hailstoning. I wonder it's started to get cold. I need to close my window. So it went up to kind of 12.45 at its peak, and then sold off all morning. And this dump here from kind of $10 all the way down to $7 was the big one, and now it's just selling off. So it's not bullish, it's the opposite of bullish, it's bearish. Friday's always a slower day generally. You get exceptions, but in general Friday does tend to be a slower day. I hope you're not stuck in it too high up, buddy. If it gets back above $7, you might get a rally to 8, but I wouldn't hold any hope of that. And right now it's struggling to get over kind of 670. SPY's been having a bit of a turnaround. Moxie, welcome back to the field, Moxie. Why are you gapping up? Let's have a word, shall we? Okay, so Moxie. No news. Why are you moving? Just moved up. 16 million float. Let's hit the scanners. There's no news. Why are you moving? It's not on high volume, so I'm not too. Neurosense is having a move up as well. Going to be interesting if it gets above $3 again. volume. It's huge volume on MDVL. I already lost money on this. Sense. Eight is making a move now. It's 580s. It's that big sell-off. Oh, sorry, 480s. Would have been a nice little VWAP bounce. Entry would have been 15 cents on it. Just not a lot moving. How's the week? We're still down on the week at the moment, Nicholas. We're about $4,000, about 4,000 down on the week. Yeah, but it didn't follow through again. So we got the bull flag, we got the breakout here at 250, 252. It only went up to like 6 cent range. So you have to take big size and scalp that really quickly to take advantage of that. So I lost 175 bucks on MDVL. It's I can't get much leverage because it's below $3. So I'm just looking at the higher price stocks. Eight is looking stronger now. Oh, $0.75 levels our exit. We're giving it 10 cents. Make 15. Yeah, so we get out there. Just trying to be disciplined on the stops, but nothing's really following through. So, right, another 1,000 down today, so we're going to call it quits for the week. And that's it. Need to see something really move. There's not a lot of movement. I've got to be honest, it's not a great day today. Slightly higher, slight breakout, and we get that 10-cent move. 20 cent. In a range from kind of 27 to 40. Question is, which way is this going to break? Yeah, broke that support level. Get it. It was ranging. I had this flat top forming, so I thought, okay, we'll break the flat top. And guess what? It only went up as high as 42, so none of the patterns are breaking out. They're not following through. So when we get that flat top, I thought, okay, that's a nice nice little breakout. But that's me done. I'm done for the day. Done for the week. The RAI was pretty accurate about SBFM. The RSI, yeah, no, absolutely. I said it wasn't oversold, so it could keep selling off, and it did. Yeah, well, it's not great volume everywhere. It's snowing. Well, that's elf snow or snow outside. Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'll be enjoying a glass of wine later, mate. I'll catch you later. I'm going to end the stream now. We've finished for the week. Finished for the day. Everyone, have a good weekend. Enjoy the football on Sunday. And we'll be back at it first thing Monday morning, 2 hours before market opens. Remember to follow or subscribe, depending on which platform you're on, and you'll get notified when I'm going live. I'll be putting all the next week's live streams up and posting a few videos to promote them over the weekend. So all the best, guys.